What's up, TIW Mafia? We're here. It's Southie month again. It's me. It's Big Joe.
What up?
And it's somebody that me and Joe have both known for
Ever.
probably 30 years or so.
Or more. No, more.
Yeah, you're old, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm the youngin' in the group here.
I'm pushing 40 probably.
You know,
Pat
DIllon, in promoter of UFO Wrestling. And they got a big show coming up October 30th. WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke is going to be in the house.
That's going to be a good one.
Is somebody going to get the old...
Well, according to him, yes.
I just hope I get to lick his head again.
And not only that, but you got one time number one contender for the WFC. I forget what weight they were at that point. Probably might have been the heavyweight with Tyson, right? Boxing.
Was Tyson heavy or was Tyson welter?
Heavyweight.
So one time number one contender actually fought Mike Tyson and lost spectacularly. Hurricane Peter McNeely.
Yes.
He's downgraded to a tropical storm.
Yeah. But is there going to be a hurricane? I mean, the beach is right across the street from Old Farragut Park on William J. Day Boulevard.
Yes. He's not coming to sit around and do nothing. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. So we might see a little something out of Pete.
I'd like to. Go ahead.
He doesn't make these public appearances at all. So when this opportunity presented itself, he jumped at it. And there are some people in and around the industry that aren't too happy with it. And the Hurricane doesn't really care. He don't give a shit.
Now, there's someone else, Pat, that I've met through your shows. I became friends with. The one time I was in the ring was for your shows. I did a battle. I did one of your Turkey Rumbles. And I was in the ring with somebody who I made friends with in there. We sort of formed a little alliance for about 10 minutes. And I know where he stays is walking distance from William J. Day Boulevard, the Pop Warner Field, where this show is going to be.
You mean the guy that lives like right there?
Will Castle Island Assassin, I'm just going to put it out there, will Castle Island Assassin be in the house? I know Bo Douglas is there, and they have a history, man.
The Castle Island Assassin is confirmed to take part in the Monster Mash Battle Royal.
Okay.
Now, I'm a Castle Island Assassin rookie. I know of the legacy. I know of the lore. But I've never seen the assassin in action.
That's going to bring out his number one fan. That's going to bring out the Jazzy one.
Never seen Castle Island Assassin in action, huh?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a fan of the lore and the legend. You know, it's one of those things that's kind of like seeing Bigfoot. You know, everyone hears about it. You've heard other people say they saw it. You know, but you may have caught a glimpse, but you're not sure. But just come down at Farragut Park. I'll be in the house. I'll be watching, and I'll be
me and Joe might go looking down Castle Island before the show.
Yeah, I'm going to go on an assassin hunt.
I mean, it's like he's got no choice. Realistically, we're putting on a show in his front yard.
That's it, literally. What's up, Josh? What's going on, Blackheart? Blackheart, we were doing good on our picks today, man. We were doing good for the first half of that show. Blackheart will be in the house.
I did some random picks, and I didn't pick it. I wasn't my best picks. I wasn't on my best game. I had some issues this week. Wasn't my best game. Next pay-per-view, Blackheart, you're going down.
Joe, who hasn't watched WWE, challenged Cyber Yeti, not you, Josh Richards, but Cyber Yeti from Blackheart and the Off the Ropes Guys podcast to their championship title belt for the predictions. for crown jewels.
I've never made smart decisions. And you guys have known me a long time. When have I ever made the proper decision?
You know what? Like, you don't, I've put myself into positions with some trivia shows, Trivia Mania with the Talkamania guys, where I know I suck at trivia, especially wrestling trivia, because I don't remember dates and stuff like that. But like, I challenged the champ, and I put myself on. I got on there 2 or 3 times doing that, and I never won.
It's like, it's not so much. And Pat, I think you're going to agree with this too, Pat, because I know you and I have gone back and forth verbally for fun over the years. It's not about who wins or who loses. It's about the battle in between until the time.
No.
Yes.
It's like, I get to talk shit, you get to talk shit. It's all about fun. We're both in the game, and we bring other people, and whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. Now, yeah, I'm saying that because I lost, but
What's up, Joe? Now, Pat, you've been doing, how long? UFO's been around, like, for something that was called a funsy onesie, and you took some shit from some of the other local promoters when you started up. But how long ago was that?
August 23rd, 2008.
What's up, Lisi? So
that was
2008.
Big Bang, where it all started.
13
August 23rd,
years.
2008. Yeah.
13 years. And but here's the thing is, when you started up, it was you and your brother. And what people didn't realize, I don't think, is that you had been around the business for a lot longer than they knew.
Yes.
You actually trained with Walter Kowalski, right?
I did. Yes.
And I don't think people realize. I don't think people now realize that, but I know even back then they didn't.
I didn't.
I was privy to that information because every time I'd see you around Southie back then, I would pick your brain on stuff.
I would have played one with you.
Yeah, 1998. 98 is when I first walked through the doors at Killer Kowalski School. 24 years old. And just to see what the hype was, because people had, knew I was a wrestling fan growing up. And, there was like, kind of like rumors that I was already doing it. And I said, you know what? Let's make these rumors a reality. And the rest is history,
But I mean, you were in the class. I mean, the guys a lot of the guys you're friends with now, guys that you were business partners with for a little while, are the guys that were in your class, right?
When I started training, the guys that were there, when I started was,
I don't know.
God, do you want me to start from most successful and work my way down?
Yeah.
Damian Sandow.
I think Prince Albert, right?
Albert was there periodically because he already had like a contract signed.
Okay.
Beforehand, but he'd come in randomly. Then your top tier local guys like Bo Douglas, Slick Wagner Brown, Jason Rumble, Demon Ortiz, Luis Ortiz. As I was winding down, your guys like Eddie Edwards was coming through.
That's
God, where else could I go? April Hunter.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, Slick was there, huh?
Yeah. God, I was your guest last week. I was well after Mike Davis.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think Mike might have been in the from talking to Mike. I think he might have actually been in the old Combat Zone days.
Yes. Yeah.
And you were in you were in. I think the school was in Malden already at that point, right?
Yes.
With the creaky stairs that everybody taught that are so I've never heard them, but I've heard them because they're so legendary.
Yeah, I think when Mike was in, he might have been. I think Walter was operating out of North Reading. I think at that time.
Oh, maybe okay. Okay.
Yeah, because that's where he was living, and then he had partnered up with superstar Richard Byrne and come into Malden.
Okay. I always thought they were two separate entities.
Well, they were. Richard Byrne was had his own promotion.
Okay.
And then Walter came in, and Richard Byrne started allowing him to train there.
I think by the time, like Joe said he would have done it with you if he had known. I think by the time I knew you were doing it, I realized I was uncoordinated. Yeah. I'm a lot more coordinated now than I was as a kid.
Listen,
and I'm still not really coordinated.
If I know Mike Davis was doing it, I would have done it 6 years earlier.
Right.
We went to school together. He was like a year or two older than me, but I played football my freshman year. We were all athletes and we were all in the gym together. If I had known that, I would have right out of high school probably went.
I never knew there was schools. I never knew until later.
Yeah.
I knew Mike was doing it because I don't want to put the person's name out there, but because someone that Mike had issues with was like, I was just fighting with him and all of a sudden he's on TV getting beat up by all these guys.
Yeah.
Like, leave him the fuck alone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I was, you know how my group of friends was back then, like you and Joe. Like, we were kind of cool with most people.
Yeah.
We were cool with at least one person in most groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was only a few groups that we didn't get along with. So, like, people would come to us and be like, hey, is this person okay? I kind of get an issue. Yeah, they're cool. Leave them alone,
Yeah.
It didn't really work, but we tried.
Right? Exactly.
But yeah, so then that was how I found out Mike was doing it, was because this kid was like, why is he on TV getting beat up?
Yeah.
Well, because he's a trained athlete. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, and it's one of those things too, like people would say, and I've heard this throughout the industry, oh, yeah, I trained in wrestling. Oh, where'd you go? I was with Kowalski School. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, you trained under Killer. Okay.
And the thing with Kowalski students is, like, the guys who got tenured there, the guys who stayed there and who were there for a long time, like, they knew the people before them. They knew the history. Like, when we were talking to Jeff Luty, the Irish Leprechaun, I hadn't heard of him before, so I reached out to you. I reached out to Bo Douglas. Yeah. And you were both like, oh, yeah, he was way before us, but he was definitely there.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, I mean, back then, like, Kowalski was known for Big John Studd. He wasn't really known for the midgets,
Yes.
Now,
I'll tell you.
You have midgets on your show. Today's podcast is presented by Pardo. Pardo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Pardo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's Pardo at podgo.co. And be sure to add the Irish Whip in the How Did You Hear About Pardo section of the application.
Even before Kowalski, I had sent for information for the Monster Factory in Jersey.
Wow. Yep.
Bundy was running it at the time, and I got all the information from there, and I was planning on relocating to Jersey.
Okay, and that wouldn't have been a bad move. They were affiliated with like WCW back then.
Yes, and then I had found out later the Kowalski thing stumbled on me. So I said, hey, I can just drive up the street.
Right. Right. And he was one of the first schools, really.
Yes.
Kowalski. But like the Monster Factory, I mean, they're in business to this day with Danny Cage, so and still got a really good program going.
Absolutely, 100%.
Now, October 30th, we know Peter
Yes.
McNeely. We know Bushwhacker Luke.
Yes.
Tell us something we don't know yet. We know the monster. What? I mean, you're known for your sort of battle royals. Tell me what's different about the monster ball.
Compared to the Turkey Rumble.
Yes, because the Turkey Rumble is something complete as its own thing, and it's got its own life. I mean,
the monsters ball is it's just another way of creating a name for a battle royal. And go with the theme.
And a $500 prize.
Yes, this year there's a $500 cash prize to the winner.
That's
you might see some people in costumes. You might not. Surprises, one that you don't know. I actually released one today. With the addition of the show to the grappler god, Jordan Rowe.
Okay.
If nobody has seen Jordan Rowe wrestle yet, you're in for a treat.
No.
I got one question, and it's about concession stands.
Yes.
Will there be ring pizza?
That's the rink. The rink is open, and their concession stand has been open. Now, what's going on that day in the rink? I don't know yet. I heard a rumor that what's interesting to know, Deshaun.
I think talking about you training and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That was.
Listen, we can go back to that question, but let me answer, Joe. There's rumor that I haven't got confirmed yet that the BFD Veterans game is going on that day, that morning.
Okay.
Nice.
So if that's happening, I'm sure it's going to field a lot of spectators, and I'm sure they'd be foolish not to open,
Right.
the concession stand.
Well,
Right.
now that that's going on, I just hope there's people that don't know about the wrestling that see it going on and pop in over there.
Right. And
No, well, here's the thing: the soccer program that runs down here, they have 600 kids in the program, and they've already purchased 100 tickets to the event.
wow.
So
Nice.
I'm kind of figuring the guy running the league is going to give each team 10 tickets, and then it's going to snowball from there.
Right.
It's like, oh, they're going now, we're going to go.
All our friends got to go,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's only $10 a ticket.
and then you're running 40 kids that night on Iron Broadway.
It's all right,
But the show, I mean, it's an early show. It's a noontime show, so
Yeah.
The gate opens at noon, so showtime 1:00.
Yeah, 1:00. Yeah.
They probably run till what, 4, 5, something like that.
Well, yeah, it depends on the progress, because we are under time constraints because it is a DCR field. And
Okay.
they're limited on what they want to do, and give.
Yep. Plenty of time to get to Sully's after then.
Why? You're not going to get ring pizza?
Why
Ring
would I get
pizza and a Sully's burger, and 1-and-1. You double team the chop.
Well, if that's the case, Chris Lane needs to, pony up a donation for this event then, because he's going to make a ton of money.
He should do a deliver. He should bring out a little food cart,
like the airport or the hub.
Yeah.
Roll up.
They're all closed now, though. Well, the airport's closed anyway, I think.
I think the milk bottle closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're open till December now. So
That's crazy.
Yeah, they closed for about a week.
And,
All right,
yeah.
now let me get back to Pat with when you were training and you were working. Similar questions I asked Mike last week. Who was your toughest opponent? Who was your easiest opponent? And who do you wish you could have gotten in the ring with?
Joe, I've stepped foot in the ring once.
But you were in there with a whole bunch of people. It was about
Even training.
Training? my best training was probably with Mike Hollow.
Wow.
Mike Hollow was my trainer. My best experience in the ring, whether it's training or whatever, was with Matt Bloom, Prince Albert, however you want to address him. Was able to run some drills with him during a training session.
Wow. That's you.
That's
I
cool.
mean, you actually did do a battle royal with, I think, Matt Bloom in it, right?
Yes,
And,
I did
and
that,
Mike
that
Hall
battle royal.
one.
Sandow was in it.
Yeah, that's
Knuckles Nelson, I think.
so everybody. I mean, all of the Kowalski guys, really.
Yeah. Wagner Brown, Bro Douglas, were all in it early in their careers.
That's the first time I've heard somebody say his name without saying Slick first.
Wagner, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't slick back then.
Eddie wasn't Eddie back then either. Eddie had another nickname.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But who would God, I don't want to take your question to another step, but
do it. I don't care where it goes.
No, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't.
Now, is this
what was the third part of that question again?
Who would you have liked to have been in the ring with that you never had a chance?
Oh, who would I? Locally or nationally, worldwide?
Both. What going into that? What was your dream matches? I'm going to become a wrestler, and I want to wrestle
Kurt Hennig.
Kurt Hennig.
Awesome.
Kurt Hennig.
Awesome.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Now, is there somebody that you haven't booked for UFO, whether it's a local talent or it's a national talent, that you would like to book for UFO? That you would like to see in UFO? Because, I mean, you've brought in some names.
Yeah, actually, yes. But just with the scheduling right now, and the only thing is I don't want to call it the saturation, but you know how it is in this area that if
Alphabet
you wait a week, you can drive 5 minutes away and see the same person,
Right. Absolutely.
I would love to bring in Alicia Edwards at some point.
Okay. I can't believe she hasn't been in there yet.
That's what I know. It's all about timing and schedule,
right.
Especially now. I haven't had Eddie in. I mean,
yeah, and that's hard to believe too, because you used to, you'd bring in DC Dillinger, who the late great DC Dillinger, when when DC was best friends with Eddie and tagged with Eddie for a long time.
I mean, like you said, you can go down the list right now of who I've had in and who's vaulted somewhere.
Right.
Or, but if I was to,
I mean, shit, the people you surprised people with.
Yeah.
Devon Dudley showing up as a surprise to your fans to sign autographs.
No. You know what it was with that? No, Devon was scheduled.
Daniels and Kazarian weren't?
Daniels and Kazarian showed up, yes. Just showed up like, hey, what's going on, guys? That
was a cool moment for me, because I went outside and to bring Devon in, because I was doing security at that show, and he was with Jose Perez's wife, Claudia, who I've been friends with for a long time. And when I get out there, she was like, "Oh, thank God it's you." because she didn't know going in who was going to be doing security at that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she was happy to see someone she knew that knew how to handle it and get them into the building.
Yeah. You know, we just mentioned it is I also had a nice training stint with Kazarian. Kazarian spent some time at Kowalski's.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I think he moved here to train with Kowalski, didn't
yes,
he, when he first started?
He did. Yeah.
I mean, that tells you how the school was. You know.
Yes, of course.
Well, look at the lineage that's come through it.
Right. And it still has, I mean, I think Massachusetts still is a top five wrestling school location.
It's a hotbed, yes.
You know,
absolutely.
You got the Belltime Club, which I hold dear. You got New England Pro Wrestling Academy, which has had many people come out of.
Absolutely.
Actually, a student of both of those schools is now the North American champion.
Yes.
You know, Kristen started with Bo and moved on to New England Pro Wrestling Academy.
No, he started New England Pro, come over, worked with us, then went back.
Okay. I knew I didn't meet him, I don't think, until he was at Bo's at Belltime.
Yeah, him and Bo had a very good bond. Because there was a I'll get into this because it was chaotic back then, okay?
Yes.
And there was a crew that started at the same time that kind of walked away from chaotic.
Okay.
And Mello was one of them. And there was a couple of them that, what reasoning, I don't know. But there were a few that had walked away at that point and then ventured back.
You wonder if they burnt bridges and rebuilt them. See, I wonder what that story would be.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know there was, you know,
and that's why you never burn a bridge. That's
yeah.
I mean, right now, God, where did you go? I mean, yes, he was chaotic, trained, whatever, but I will tell you, Bo Douglas, you know, trained him. That was before the Belltime Club, but Bo Douglas trained him.
Right.
You know?
He actually his last indie show, he actually sent Bo a personal invitation to.
Yes.
And you know, where's he gone?
Yeah.
You know, where's Carmelo Hayes going? What's his future?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, you talk about the lineage. I mean, you know, Mike Hollow was Kowalski's head trainer, and
right.
All the, you know, he's getting the plug now. NXT champ Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
You know.
Like
I said, Ivar. What else? What's his name?
Tommaso. You had Tommaso in on one of your shows right before he signed on. Sorry, I'm playing with my lights a little here to try to get a little shadow off of me. But you, in one of the probably more interesting matches I think I've ever seen. Right before he signed, or it might have been.
He was in again after that, but yes, it was shortly before he re-signed with WWE.
Yes, him and Joey Eastman. Joey, if you don't know who Joey Eastman is, look him up. He's insane and he's great in a tar and feather match. And Joey damn near broke his neck on that one, if I remember right.
Yes, yeah.
Joey got knocked out, was concussed in that match legitimately, but still finished the match. And Joey wasn't a wrestler; he was a manager.
And his tooth went through his mouth, I think, too.
Oh,
but a legit tar and feather match.
Yes. Yep.
So that was with UFO Wrestling. What I'll say is, you really don't know what you're gonna see when you show up.
Well, it's like a UFO.
We got to see you do a dive out of the ring about a year ago.
Me?
You? Yes.
No, it was way before that.
Was it longer ago than that?
I was 350 pounds back then when I did that dive.
Oh, that's true. You were big at that. That was okay. I think that was right before you started your weight loss too, wasn't it?
That's the show that everybody dove out.
Yes. Yeah, and you you finished it off.
Yeah, that was over 5 years ago.
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah, because I started the weight loss in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
So UFO Wrestling is it's a fun product. It's one of the shows there's two places I consider home, and UFO is one of them, definitely, as far as pro wrestling goes. And UFO is the one now that's been around the longer than the other one. So
family-friendly entertainment.
that's it. And it always is with UFO. You guys don't do you might have had a street match or two, a street fight or two, but you haven't done like the super hardcore death match type of stuff as UFO.
No, we might have broke a table or two, you know.
Yeah. You've had guys like Reaper who would jump off the freaking balcony at the Police Athletic League in Southie just for fun.
Yeah.
And Reaper still shows up. I love sitting and talking with Reaper during the shows.
Yeah. And I think Evan Six threw a ref through a table in Dorchester.
Yes. I think that was Chuck Morris.
We won't say that ref's name, but you know.
Oh, sorry.
Just out of respect, you know, for fellow promoter.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, Chuck Morris got thrown through a table.
It's always like I'm so looking forward to this because this is the thing is I sit out in my yacht every single night. We can't do that in October in Massachusetts normally. This October's had such abnormal weather, and I think it's all for this outdoor UFO show.
Oh yeah,
October 30th.
Sun shining down upon you, Pat.
Right at all you guys got to do, if you guys come into South Boston, you can either get off at Broadway Station and take the number 9 all the way to the end of Broadway, and that'll take you right there. Or if you're driving, you just go to the end of William J. Day Boulevard. You'll come to Farragut Park. Towards the back of Farragut Park, you'll see the baseball field. There's a hockey rink and the Pop Warner football field. It's that easy to get to. There's not a place in Southie that has more parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's parking up the wazoo down here, you know?
You know?
You just get to the water and go left.
And you'll get to meet Tin. You'll get to meet Tin, Joe's service dog.
My 165-pound service dog.
Yeah, he's as big as you, Joe.
He keeps me walking.
Good.
And it's an outdoor show, so I figure Tin is safe at it.
I want to get him in the ring.
I'm down here now in all the stadium seats are here. We're just going to put them out probably next Friday. Day before, we'll put them out and start getting everything rolling Friday night.
Now, is there a meet and greet with like Peter and with Bushwhacker Luke and maybe some of the other talent?
Oh yeah, they'll be out here as soon as the gates open. They'll be out here doing their thing, you know. Then there'll be an opportunity at intermission. Probably going to do some in-ring photos, maybe.
Wait. What if I miss out on it during intermission because I'm inside getting some pizza?
Well, you gotta get it beforehand then.
Okay, I'll get there early.
You've had a lot of guys too, like Joel, who's been AEW Dark. He's been on a lot of your shows lately.
Yeah.
I know you've had JT Dunn, who's been AEW Dark, and you know, of course, Anthony Green, that's been everywhere. So you don't like the guys that you see on the independent level. Some of them have already been there and they're kind of winding down.
Yeah.
Like Bushwhacker Luke, just trying to make a couple of bucks on a weekend.
Yeah.
But some of them, these are the guys that you're going to see tomorrow on TV somewhere, whether it's AEW or it's WWE or Impact.
I mean, you name a few, but I mean, we can go.
I mean, Brian Malonis.
I mean, Sasha Banks.
Yes.
Tiba. We said Ivar. We talked about.
I think Ciampa,
Robbie.
Josh.
what's his
Oh.
name now?
Yeah, it's Rob Echoes, Robbie E.
Yeah, he's been in
Josh.
multiple times for me.
Yeah, he used to call you.
Yeah,
Josh, Josh Briggs.
Yeah, Josh Briggs. Jay debuted with me.
Yeah.
I mean, then like you said, you go to that AEW, Matt Tave and Ring of Honor. You know,
Yeah.
Matt was a mainstay for a while.
The
Vinny
Carinos.
Marsaglia, you know.
Justin Carino. Justin Carino's done some stuff.
The Sea Stars, Davey N, they've all been on AEW, you know.
Yeah, I think the Sea Stars are I think they may be NWA or Impact now.
Yeah. So I mean there's I mean, like I said, but they've been through everywhere over here, you know.
Right.
Not just my promotion, but
no.
You know.
But do you go to these shows?
The circuit.
I was looking today, and I'm not gonna crap on AEW at all because I sort of want to go. I really want to go to their show.
Yeah.
But tickets are $100.
Yeah.
To see guys that you might have saw 6 months ago for $10.
Yes.
You know, they're it's a little more. It's a different show. It's a little more production involved there, but it's the same wrestling match.
Is it $100 for the cheapest ticket?
Yes.
Ooh.
Like $120 at the Aganis.
That's not family friendly. Sorry to say.
Right. You can't bring a family of 5 to that. You can bring for $75, you can bring a family of 4 to UFO on October 30th, feed them, and have a good time.
With an autograph or a picture.
Yes.
You know, so.
And maybe a sighting of the Castle Iron Assassin.
And what is the proceeds for the show going to something?
Yes, the Tiny Community Center Council.
Which is, I mean, the Tynan has kept so many kids off the street over the years, Joe included.
Yes.
They used the Tynan kids used to give me wedgies and shit, so.
Yeah, they had to stand on the wall, though, because you're so tall.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's we every year for the last, I don't know, over 10 years, it was the Walsh Center, then they closed the Walsh Center, then we moved on to the Tynan. And that's we did the Harvest Havoc, the Thanksgiving event, up until 2 years ago when we switched it over to the Monsters Ball, the Halloween edition, and did away with the Thanksgiving because the city felt that trying to staff people on Thanksgiving Eve was becoming a concern, an issue.
Well, do you know what else happened on Thanksgiving Eve? Other promotions.
Because they seen how successful I was for 10 years.
Yeah, that was, I forget who it was. It might have been Jay Buster, Randy Shawn.
Yeah.
That said to me one year, and this was after a couple, was like, man, he's done these on Wednesday nights 3 or 4 years in a row and put 300, 400 people in here.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And now we're going to do it in an outdoor show in October in Massachusetts. Well, we may as well call it November. It's October 30th in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the same thing. Well, you're going to do the same thing.
We're going to do the same thing. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
I'm all like, UFO where it stands for me. Yes. I'll pick on you. Me and you will pick on each other all day long through text messages. But at the end of the day, it's all love, you know?
Of course it is. We're brothers. That's all, you know.
It's been like that with Salty for 30 years.
Right.
Of course.
Very few people got their their balls in a bunch and took it a step further.
Right. And like people who doubt like that, me and Joe have known Pat that long. So the history of it is Joe hung on one corner, I hung on the next corner. Pat would come down and hang on our corner because his brother hung up with Joe.
Yeah.
You know? So Pat grew up on a different street, hung out on a different street, but there'd be a couple of times a month you'd be down with us.
No, and there was always that wandering eye. Like no one's out. Let me walk down F and Fifth. See who's down there.
That's all. You know? So. Definitely. But you want to get back to these like random like Wednesday nights and stuff, right? And I'll tell you a story. So, during school vacations in Massachusetts, I started doing Wednesday nights, those nights too,
Yep.
because trying to get a Friday and Saturday in my home building, the Malden Irish American Club, was tough. So I incorporated these Wednesday night shows, and one Wednesday night, I booked this particular talent who brought somebody with him, traveled with somebody, and that somebody was another promoter. And couldn't believe the crowd I drew on a Wednesday night.
Yeah. And I think that promoter runs every Thursday now.
So, that it's like, if you do it right, it works.
Right. I actually know. I wasn't even at that show, and I know what show that was.
And it just, I'm not going to say it sucks, but now we're saturated as is, and
Right.
that's why I run far and few between.
Right. And the other thing with you running on the Wednesday night was talent was always available.
Yes.
There wasn't if talent that travels, they weren't traveling on Wednesdays. Talent that gets booked everywhere weren't booked on Wednesdays. So
Wednesday's a down day.
Yes. So, and for these guys to turn around and go, oh, I can wrestle on a Wednesday night. Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I didn't congest the weekend.
Right.
Like I am. Unfortunately, it's an afternoon show, so I'm not really congesting the weekend with 3 or 4 shows within an hour away.
Right.
Saturday
And that's
night.
I mean, I'll tell you, I won't name the show because this is about you, but I'm going from your show to another show on.
No, exactly. Absolutely. And I reached out to that promoter.
Yeah.
And asked him, do you not want me to contact certain people? And that promoter gave me a list, and I stayed away from it. That's
how it should. I mean, the territories had gone, unfortunately. But so should the days of the promoters fighting. Like, I can remember being in certain situations where I was with one promoter and I thought we were going to have to fight a locker room.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get along with another promoter, and it would literally have been me and 2 other people I won't name that would have been fighting, and it would have been one of the more jacked up locker rooms in New England at the time.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been fun. It would have been a bad day for somebody.
But you see it back in the day too. A lot of the promoters on the indies would run a town like they were the mafia. I'd run this town.
Right.
You couldn't run in. You want to work in this town, you had to go through me.
It wasn't only that, but there were promoters that would go into someone else's building and purposely run a show that wasn't their top show.
Yeah.
With the purpose of it being when somebody leaves the building, they don't say, "Oh, that was ABC wrestling." They just say that was wrestling at whatever building.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened in the beginning. My first show, UFO's first show was at the Dorchester Armory.
Yes.
And somebody had run there before, years before, and never went back. And then kind of got mad because they never drew a crowd there. And I drew a crowd there. But
that was a good show. That was a show. I think that was the Fireball, right?
Yes, that was Gino Martino, Don Vega, and Pierre Vachon in a hardcore match. That was hardcore. That was fire. That was screw guns, nails. That was original. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That was Gino Martino back then too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But that's also what kids these days expect wrestling to be, because that's what they see on TV.
Yes.
They don't see on TV the screw gun going into the guy's neck, and that's not what happens in reality. But
yeah,
that's.
And I still get shit now it's kind of turned into a joke, but I still get shit because I kind of basically got handed the Malden Irish American Club, okay, passed down to me. But there was a big promotion that used to run that building, and they never drew in that building.
No, me and you went to that building.
And now, in the beginning, it was frowned upon towards me because I inherited the building and I drew a crowd in the building. But now, as time has passed, it's kind of like turned into like a joke, you know, like.
Right, but that, I mean, me and you went to some of those shows because me and you went to some bad shows.
Yes.
And I'm not saying those were bad shows. They weren't. They just didn't draw well. And there was a weird, so it's a weird shaped building.
Yes.
But you do good in there because you got people flyering and you got people, you don't just rely on the internet. You know, you got people out there doing legwork.
Yes.
And it's, I don't know how to say it, but it's just promoted differently.
Well, that's what wrestling of old was on the street. Wrestling was you get a couple of young kids to get a free ticket that'll stand on the corner in front of Strawberries at Downtown Cross and handing out flyers.
Exactly.
That's still the best way of promoting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The promoters that draw will tell you they're not outside of Raw because Raw gets people from all over. They're not outside of like that. You go outside of AEW.
No, but they'll be all outside that X named wrestlers coming somewhere to do a signing. They'll be out there.
I can remember with NECW, we were out there flying, and it was like me, might have been Chris Norman, Brian Nadeau, whatever with him, but and Brian Nadeau saw this woman, and he went, I have to give her a flyer. I have to get her to one of our shows. This was like it was a Bret Hart appearance. It was a Ring of Honor show, I think, at the Aganis Arena, which is a big place.
Is that the night we went and got hit with a kendo stick?
It might have been. The
kid was walking around with a kendo stick, thought he was a tough guy.
Yeah.
Until he got hit with it.
So Brian Nadeau went running up to this old woman who was walking around with these teddy bears.
Yes.
You know where I'm going yet? Okay.
Yes.
And she came to every NECW afterwards, and she talked to those bears. Joe, these were Kiss bears.
Really?
Like
you told me about this.
And she had all of them. And she said they were her husbands. And that was all. That was Brian Nadeau who just went up to her with the flyer and was like, "You have to come to this show, miss."
Yeah.
And she was at every one after that.
I remember you telling me about that lady with the Kiss bears.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And
she sat front row every show.
Every time, yeah. I don't know if she was the only fan that came out of that, but she definitely came from that.
Yeah.
And but that's like you got to do the legwork, you know.
Well, here's where I dropped the ball, but I found out later it might not have been a good idea. Now, I got one of those A-frame sandwich boards.
Sure.
And I was going to get 2 signs done, but I had to figure out weatherproofing for it. And I was going to chain it up out in front of the hockey rink.
Okay.
Morning, noon, and night, the rink's rolling.
Right.
And then everybody walking back and forth out of Castle Island.
Yep.
Somebody's bound to notice it and go, oh, shit, you know? Somewhere to take the kids in the afternoon. Especially now, the haunted castle's not happening.
Right. I saw that. That's a shame.
So.
But I understand why.
Kids? What do you do, kids? You come to wrestling, costume contest. We can hang apple cinnamon donuts and you can have donut eating contests. You know, I mean, there's going to be activities for the kids going on.
Okay.
Is that contest just for the kids?
You know what, Joe? I may have to just bring my own dozen for you.
So okay, that works.
You know, so you don't have to take away from the kids.
For Joe and for 10. Joe will split them with 10. He won't share with me.
He's on a diet, though, so just get him the munchkins.
All right.
But Pat, man, break the show down for us. We got about 5 minutes left, so.
Okay. The heavyweight, the championship's going to be on the line, and it will be Dolly DeSimone defending first title defense versus Ilya Markopoulos.
Ooh, I like that.
Ilya has been making appearances with us since he was like 15.
Yep.
I
remember his parents had to sign the waiver for you.
Yes. Then when we got clearance from Test of Strength to put the K1 title, which was named after Kowalski, that title is going to be on the line, and Ichiban holds that title, and he's going to defend it against Sammy Diaz. Both Ichiban's making his debut. I think Sammy Diaz has been in once, I think. Maybe one of the outdoor Dorchester shows.
Hopefully Sammy Davis isn't a ref.
Yes, right. Then we got a mixed tag match with Slick Wagner Brown and Luscious Latasha. And they're going to take on the team of Channing Thomas and Little Mean Kathleen, who's making her UFO debut.
But she's been, she's sort of a rookie in the area, but she's been making some moves from what I've seen everywhere. So
yes, trained down in at Top Rope, down there in Fall River. Yeah. Making a name for herself, absolutely.
Awesome.
Then we're gonna drift down to we got Robbie the Giant.
Yes.
Making his return after a long hiatus with the midget promotion that he works for.
I am looking forward to seeing Robbie. I haven't we've had Robbie on the show, but Robbie's been a good friend for a long time.
Yeah. Then we got the Monster Mash Battle Royal.
Crazy Chainsaw.
Crazy Chainsaw. We got Ryan Frost, Hard Work Barnaby Combs, the Rotten Apple, Adam Adams. We're putting some females in it. Elle Valentine is throwing her hat in the race. Tim Lennox.
Really?
Back. Tim Lennox will be in the
I had a pick.
Battle Royal.
I had a pick to win, and I might have just changed my mind.
Okay.
Tim's crazy.
Yes. Castle Island Assassin is going to be in the Monster Mash Battle Royal.
CIA.
What else we got? If you were in Malden back in August, the Rotten Apple debuted against Aaron Kadamia, and they're going to run it back.
Okay. That was a great match.
Yes.
That was a great match. I actually liked Kadamia a lot.
Yeah.
He had
Makua is going to be back. Bo Douglas and Hard Work Barnaby Combs have settled their differences and are actually teaming up. They're going to tag on this show.
Hard Work had the crowd going crazy for him too.
Yes.
He had, I know Blackheart and his crew. I don't know if Blackheart's still here, but they were chanting Hard Work through most of that match.
Yeah. Listen, you can't forget bringing back Drew Kazoo to ring announce.
Yes.
The fans loved him, so we decided
he did a
to bring
great
him back
job.
this one. Yes.
He did a great job. For someone that I don't think ring announcer, like I know he's done commentary a few times and stuff like that. I don't think ring announcer was ever his forte.
Listen, what about Boston Blackie, Brian? He's now on the show. If you're familiar with him on the local scene, bar scene and everything, he's got a huge following. He's coming in to manage the Rotten Apple, Adam Adams.
Boston Blackie, I am not familiar with them.
I've heard the name.
Huh?
I've heard the name. I'm trying to picture it.
Look him up. He's posting videos now. It was his dream to be part of some sort of wrestling, and he's getting the opportunity that afternoon.
Will there be a Jazzy Gym performance?
No.
Will there be a Jazzy Gym appearance? I can't see him missing this.
There should be.
If Castle Island Assassin's in the ring, I'm pretty sure Jazzy will be not in the building, outside of the building.
Yes. I hope so. I haven't spoken to him, but he seems like he could be here. It's a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. I know he's sort of out of the neighborhood, but not too far. So
yes. I'm trying to think what else. Bushwhacker Luke will be in a match.
That's crazy. That's
Yes.
going to be worth seeing. Like, because for those who don't know, like, the Bushwhackers weren't a comedy act before the WWF at the time.
Yeah.
They were violent. I mean,
well, they got there during the WWF days.
Yes.
They came in for Vince's father.
But they were violent before that. They weren't known for being a comedy act. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see which Bushwhacker Luke we get.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hope it's the same one I licked his head in Singapore.
I mean, the video that he posted, he said he's going to come in, fighting shit, whatever he said in the video. The Australian accent threw me off, kicking ass or something.
I'm looking forward to that.
This is going to be a good one.
And Peter McNeely. You said he's not there just as an appearance?
Well, yeah. Well, Peter, I spoke with Peter the other night, and he's getting some messages, and they're saying you got no business coming around the wrestling ring. And as you know, we've had fighters appear at some of our shows.
Absolutely.
We've had Richie LaMontagne. We have had UFC legend John Doomsday Howard. I mean, it's not something new for us, but
right. Dream Jimmy LeBlanc.
Jimmy LeBlanc's always in the house, So, but this time, a few people are taking it to another level with Peter McNeely,
Wow.
and Peter just isn't too thrilled about it. So he may have something to say and some actions to take next Saturday afternoon.
Wow. Okay.
Something to say and something to do about it.
That will that'll make things sort of interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
But Pat, where can people find you and UFO on social media?
You can just go to Facebook and type in UFO Wrestling, and a couple of different pages will pop up. We operate under 2 pages, 2 UFO pages. One's a group and one's a page itself. You go to Instagram and just type up UFO Wrestling. You'll find us there. Twitter, same thing. UFO Wrestling. It'll all pop up. Snapchat, UFO Wrestling.
There you go.
Now, what about your OnlyFans?
That got shut down.
Damn, too hardcore, huh?
Due to content, yes.
That's where you put the not family stuff.
Yes, the not family stuff. Even the Snapchat's kind of borderline,
Now, what about the UFO TikTok? That's all the craze.
It hasn't started. Not yet. We're leaning towards a UFO Skit Scott page. We gotta represent Skit Scott.
Pat. Thank you, man. This has been a long time. I mean, we've had you on before. This has been a long time coming again, and
absolutely,
you're always welcome. You're obviously a good friend.
Next time we gotta do it in the schoolyard.
That's it.
Yes.
However we got to do it, but I appreciate it.
Amazing Ken is in here and says hello.
Okay.
Ken,
Ken. He's coming in late.
Yeah, you're here at the end, Ken.
He's rolling in hot though. Coming in late, rolling in hot.
Is. But Pat, thank you so much.
Right.
Yes, that's all I got for this week, Joe. Big
All
Toe,
right.
as your name says underneath.
Oh, my fat thumb spelt it wrong.
I changed it on you.
Big Toe, baby, Big Toe.
All right. Well, see you next Thursday.
Yes, you will. Not me, but you will.
Oh, I will.
All right, guys.